What's up, everyone? Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies, and welcome to my review of Him. This is the new horror thriller that's been generating a lot of buzz, and I think some of that is because a lot of people think this is a Jordan Peele movie, but it's not. It's actually directed by Justin Tipping, who co-wrote the script with two other writers. However, Peele did produce this movie through his Monkey Paw Productions. Him stars Tyreek Withers as Cameron Cade, a former college football star and rising quarterback who's hoping for his shot at the big leagues. After an attack leaves him with a head injury, Cameron's dreams are seemingly shattered, but opportunity comes knocking when his hero, legendary player Isaiah White, played by Marlon Wayans, invites Cameron to his compound to train. As Cameron gets pulled deeper into Isaiah's world, he starts to see a darker side and begins to question if he's willing to pay the price to be great. Before I jump into the review, do me a favor and make sure you subscribe, that way you can keep up with everything I'm posting on the channel, including all of the movie reviews, entertainment news, and more. Also, make sure you jump into the comments to share your thoughts about the movie.
There are a lot of people saying you could be the next great quarterback. I can already see it now. Cam running down the tunnel with the crowd chanting his name.
I hear you've been invited to train with legend Isaiah White himself. Care to elaborate?
I want to be the GOAT.
I'm just going to get right to it. I didn't particularly like Him, unfortunately. This movie was incredibly frustrating. It starts off strong, but then it starts to fizzle really quickly as the movie progresses, and the ending, which I think will be very divisive, just completely falls apart. Him is a very stylish movie, but that's something that works for it as well as against it. Now, I actually really like the look and feel of this movie. The cinematography is vibrant, there's an eerie atmosphere that pulls you in, and I think the movie does an amazing job using lighting and color to create suspense. And the sound design was also really good, especially the way sound was used to amplify certain moments in the movie. But to the movie's detriment, it relied too heavily on style. There were too many potentially compelling moments that were lessened because of the movie's hyper-stylized choices, like excessive edits and close-ups that really just zap all the excitement and energy out of the scenes. And you can also really feel how hard this movie is trying to look like a Jordan Peele movie. Now, the concept is really interesting. The movie is taking a look at what people are willing to sacrifice to achieve greatness. The story is set in the world of football, so the movie is examining this idea from the perspective of athletes. And I actually thought that was a really smart approach, because even if you're not a football fan, you probably know enough about it to know that it can be a very dangerous sport, one that asks so much of players both mentally and physically, but it's also a sport that can reward players with wealth and fame in return. But the movie doesn't really do much to explore those themes beyond the surface. The characters are constantly talking about the price of greatness, but you don't really see that struggle. The love of football is presented as being cult-like in the movie, and there are religious themes throughout, but again, it mainly comes from characters talking about it. Even the few moments where these themes are shown, it's so on the nose. Him is billed as a horror movie, but it doesn't really know how to inject those horror elements into the story. It has bloody, even gory moments. It has shocking moments where shadowy figures are sort of lurking in the background, and there's a few jump scares here and there, but that's about it. Now, Marlon Wayans is a standout here, and his performance is fantastic. It was really nice to see him take on a dramatic role like this, and he completely nails it. He brings an intensity that is severely lacking from the rest of the movie. Now, I wouldn't say I completely dislike Tyreek Withers' performance. It's just that his character Cameron barely has a personality. He's written as this sort of wide-eyed rookie who's a little unsure of himself, and Withers does really well portraying that. Problem is that there's just not much to Cameron other than he's great at football. And we don't really ever see him being great at football. We're mostly just told that. And that's a big red flag if the movie is doing more telling than it is showing, and that happens far too often in this movie. The ending of Him takes a bizarre, over-the-top turn. It might work for some people, but it didn't work for me. I thought that the decisions made in the final act almost seemed to undo a lot of what was set up in the earlier parts of the movie and just rendered them pointless. This movie had so much potential, and I feel like I'm saying that a lot lately with movies that have really interesting concepts, but for whatever reason can't deliver on them. And unfortunately, that was the case with Him. So those are my thoughts on Him, which is out in theaters this week. Do you plan on seeing it? Let me know in the comments. While you're here, like and subscribe, and of course, stick around for more videos like this.